So all the Gucci Man artists is either gone or in jail. And this is why everybody's pointing fingers thinking that he has something to do with it. Do you think Gucci lined up or backdoored his peoples, his artists and everything? Because nowadays you can't trust nobody. And if you really know what's going on, you would know that Big Scar, he got basically like he passed the same way Enchanting passed, and Fujiano, he got locked up, and Hot Boy West got 15 years, and like literally it's been countless other people who fallen gone too soon or anything. And this is why a lot of people look at it like, okay, so why is it that this is happening with all Gucci's artists? And so that's why 1017 people are staying away from it. This is the main reason why Big 30 signed to actually moneybaggyo. Like Big 30 had the whole situation where he could have went to 1017, and Pooh Shiesty went to 1017, but now he's doing an 8-year bid. And so this is the thing that we talking about, man. So why is it that as soon as the people go and sign the 1017, something end up happening to them within a matter of a couple months or within that year or something like that? And we want to say RIP to Big Scar, RIP to Enchanting, and Free Shiesty and everything like that. But at the end of the day, you have to realize that, like, dang, this keep happening over and over again. And so the next set of group of people, they don't want to have to sign the Gucci Man, whatever it is behind it. It seemed like he having a lot of bad luck, and the whole hip-hop industry is looking at it like, okay, so 1017 got some type of curse on him. And this is why when Yogotti had the beef with Gucci Man, and Young Dolph stepped in and pretty much tried to tell Gucci Man, no, we gonna have to do the 1017 PRE. So a lot of the artists that was PRE, they could have been 1017 too. So this is crazy because a lot of people got saved by Dolph by going with Dolph. If they would have went to 1017 with Gucci Man, then they would have ended up having going down that same path where they would have got locked up or been gone too soon or anything like that. And so that's why a lot, like if you look at it, man, Gucci Man, his artists and everything like that is always an up and down thing, but they always have an issue where they get into some trouble, or they have some people like ops try to run him down and everything. And most of them just be at the wrong places at the wrong time. Like if you really think about it, all of these rappers got the most dangerous job, but even if they signed to 1017 and Gucci Man and all that, they got all this money, they still going straight back to the hood and everything. So what ends up happening is that they end up hanging around, they still in the hood, the projects, and so they get into it with some other people, and that's who ends up taking them out or setting them up or robbing them or whatever. Because we hear about rappers getting robbed all the time. Rappers have to go to a city and they have to go check in, and so this is when all that stuff happens. They go to LA or they go to Houston or they go to Miami and stuff like that, and when they go to check in, this is when the rappers get pressed by these street dudes, and it ends up somebody tries to grab the chain, somebody lets off around. And so we seen it happen a lot of times, especially when they go to the studio. They pull up to the studio and there'll be somebody already there, and for some reason they start having a problem. Maybe they wanted to be there longer and everything like that. Maybe they was jealous of the fact that a bigger rapper came in. A lot of the security dudes, they feel like, okay, this rapper got on all these chains, they got all the jewelry and the money, so they trying to tax him at the door to get into the studio, and they get into an argument over that. And this is why some things spill over, and basically it gets blown out of proportion, and a lot of hotheads are out there with their ego, and it basically makes the whole situation worse. And so when Gucci Man artists, they still going back to their old hood and everything, and they basically risking a lot of stuff, because this is when you look at each and single one of the people who got gone too soon and stuff in Gucci Man's camp, they always was back in the town. They were back in town. They once they got a lot of money, you supposed to move out the hood for sure, because this is the main thing that everybody is going back, flexing and showing off to all the people who really don't got it like that. And then it's gonna cause somebody to be like, you know what, man, they got it, so I'm gonna take it from them. And so this is the main reason why how people get set up and lined up, is that they go around flexing in the hood, and it ends up backfiring on them. And that's why you gotta understand, you just gotta be a time and place for that. You could flex when you at the show, on stage, or in the music video. You could flex all you want and nobody can jump through the TV screen and take it. So but the fact that is that when everybody goes back to the same spot that they was at, and they're hanging around the same old group of people, and they basically like a big juicy steak and everybody hungry, and so they waiting to get at something like a scrap of that or a crumb of that, or they waiting for you to drop something so they can pick it up. And this is what it ends up being. And then eventually, whenever they end up still getting lit, still partying and everything, they never kick their old habits. So when they go back and hang out with their old crew, and they pouring up and everything like that, they got the cups and stuff, they popping yerks and all that kind of stuff. What ends up happening is that they got to realize that it still be people who was hustling out there that may have cut and flim flam and flip flop some of the stuff, and the next thing you know, you come back into town, hang out in the old hood and everything, like, oh, where the plug at, woo woo woo, and they pour you up, or they get you this, they give you the bean, and the next thing you know, that takes you out because you forgot about the fact that they were cutting stuff up with the Fetty Wap right there. And you was coming around thinking that, oh, nothing gonna happen to you, but they gonna be like, oh yeah, make us strong so he could come back and get more. And that's exactly how they got Big Scar and Enchanting, because they were out partying with their friends. The friends, they were peer pressuring them like crazy. They were like, oh no, let's get lit, let's get off that, let's do that. And so they're basically like, okay, they made him buy the stuff. Once the friends got them like all hyped up to doing it, then they made him buy it. Then when the plug came through, it was already cut extra strong. So by the time they end up breaking it down and everybody partake, everybody do participate and everything like that, they look over at Enchanting, they look over at Big Scar, they see they knocked out with the eyes closed. They thought they tripped on something on the table or something like that. They end up on the ground, they on the floor out. And so this is when everybody start panicking. They all lit, they don't know what to do. They don't know if they should call 911 because they got the work on the table. So they all panicking and everything like that, literally prolonging the amount of time that they burning up time, when it could be they getting medical attention. They could be calling the peoples to get the medical, but they burning time because they don't want to get caught. They don't know what to do. They shocked at this moment. They try to call Big Scar and Enchanting's older cousin. They call Big Cousin and they not answering. Hey, finally they get a hold of somebody. They get a hold of one of their partners and everything, and they tell them, hey, Enchanting, she fell out. Hey, Big Scar, they fell out, man. What's going on? We don't know. They won't wake up. We put the water on them. We try to wake them up, pinch them, slap them. They not waking up. Then they saying, what did they take? He said, I don't know, man. He must have took some type of bean or something. So they basically make it seem like they popped their own stuff, that it wasn't the whole crew doing it, that they didn't just talk them into it and peer pressure them into it to buying it for everybody. They make it seem like the friends of these people who just fell out, all of these artists, Guccimane's artists, their friends is acting like they're not the ones that just gave it to them or made them do it. They act like they just came and hung out with them and they was already off the exactly. So what end up happening is that everybody get amnesia. They act like they don't remember nothing that happened. When the ambulance came and they're like, okay, what did they take? You need to tell us exactly everything that this person was doing. They'd be like, I don't know, I just got here. So they never really gave them a chance to actually help them out and bring them back. If there was a way to save them, if they could do something to like CPR before it's too soon or before it's too late or anything like that. But see, everybody, they didn't want to snitch. They didn't want to say nothing too much. They didn't want to get nobody in trouble. So they just let their friend pass and just struggle right there. They didn't want to tell the paramedics no type of information to help them bring them back. So this is what happens to you with your friends. This is what your friends end up doing to you. So you can't trust nobody these days. It's not even worth having no friends, nothing like that. Just stay in your lane, take care of your family, and get your generational wealth, because at the end of the day, nobody is out looking for, nobody got your back, nobody's out there trying to help you out, basically, because it's a dog eat dog world out here, and most of these people, they'll set you up, snake you, do anything like that for the dollars, for the money. It's a cold world out here, and you got to realize that at the end of the day, this is a revolving door situation, and what you really have to do is open your eyes and look at it for what it really is. These Gucci Mane artists, they could have been saved, but they ain't no role model. Ain't nobody. Gucci Mane's not Dolph, so he's not telling them stay out of this place, don't do that, be in the studio. He's not really. He signed them But is he doing what he needs to do to be able to make sure that their career continue to grow? That's his job. So let me know what y'all think about all this stuff, man. Make sure you subscribe.